Hey everybody, this is Damon at Greenhorn Gardening. Let's talk about how to garden in rocky, sandy soil. Now, let's look. If you see right this, you see the light brown tan material here. That's all sand. I have a yard that's basically all sand, and this is compost. And I mix the two half and half. Now, if you have sandy soil, is fine. Sandy soil allows the water to drain, and when mixed with something like compost or peat, moss, or leaf mold, will allow it to absorb and drain at the same time. That's exactly what you're looking for. With rocks don't do either. Just think about, when you pour water on concrete, does it absorb the water? Does it drain the water? It doesn't. Neither. The water just either, it just doesn't do anything. So what with rocky soil, it's very, very difficult to garden. And what I would recommend if you having to deal with rocky soil, especially, is to build some sort of a raised bed. Now, this is one of the planters that I built a couple of years ago now, and this is it. It's 8 feet wide, 8 feet long, 4 feet wide. I've also used it as a miniature greenhouse, as you can see here. Now, the kind of mix you use in this is not soil. You're basically going to be using a soil-less mix or even a soil-based potting mix that you can mix up yourself. Now, this is the first garden I ever had. It's obviously you can see the design is obviously Mel Bartholomew style square foot garden. This is the kind of Mel's mix, but I don't use this mix anymore. What I use now, the Mel's mix, Mel Bartholomew square foot gardening mix, consists of compost, peat moss, and vermiculite. Now, in my area, first of all, peat moss, you can make your own homemade peat moss this way. You can just gather a bunch of leaves in autumn and save them. It will eventually break down and form a very peat moss like substance called leaf mold, and it does the same thing, except it's free and it's right there in your own yard if you just rake up the leaves. Compost, I let my worms do that, and I use sand instead of vermiculite. Now, the principle is you can take about half material that absorbs and mix it with about half of material that drains. Materials that drain are vermiculite, perlite, and sand. Materials that hold are peat moss, leaf mold, compost, rotted manure, and those kinds of things like that. Mix those about half and half, and that works pretty well for my taste. And look, if you want to know more tips and tricks and you want a simple, easy way to get started in organic gardening, go to greenhorngardening.com/claim to get your free audio ebook on a nice little bag gardening system I've put together. And thanks a bunch. I will talk to you later. Bye bye. Grow 'em big. That's what I'm supposed to say. Grow 'em big, dude.